All right, welcome to This Week in Education. Now, if you're a parent or an educator trying to navigate the, let's face it, pretty fast-paced world of learning, this is for you. This week, we are diving deep into some major breakthroughs in science, some really cool new tools, and the policies that honestly could change everything.
So here's the big question driving this week's explainer. What if we've been asking the wrong questions all along? You see, there's this wave of new science and tech that suggests we're right on the edge of a massive shift. We're moving away from asking, what's wrong with this kid, to, okay, what's possible for this kid? And that, right there, is a fundamental change in how we support our students.
First up, seeing the full picture, the diagnosis. We're going to kick things off by looking at some pretty incredible breakthroughs that are giving us a whole new way to understand the challenges our kids and students are up against.
You know, for way too long, we've been stuck in this awful wait-to-fail approach, right? Where we have to watch a child fall behind, watch them struggle, before they can get the help they desperately need. Well, the big news this week is that the science is saying that's finally starting to change.
Okay, get ready for this number, because it honestly stopped me in my tracks. 94.7%. What is that? Well, that is the accuracy of a brand new AI system at identifying kids who need reading support before they even start to fall behind. This isn't just an improvement, this is a total game changer.
And get this, it does it all in just 18 minutes. I mean, think about that. Less time than a single class period. How? Well, the system looks at a combination of brain waves, eye movements, and speech patterns. It's giving us this incredibly objective, deep look at how a child is actually processing language. It's amazing.
So let's just break that down. The old way, months of just watching and waiting, relying on subjective reports. The new way, 18 minutes of hard data from brainwaves and eye tracking. We are literally leaping from a reactive system, waiting for problems, to a proactive one. And that means we can start building skills from day one, not months or even years down the road.
And it's not just about reading either. This new level of clarity is also changing how we understand attention. We're starting to talk about these things called neurocognitive profiles. Basically, it's the idea that there are distinct patterns in how our brains work, each with unique strengths and challenges. It explains why that one-size-fits-all approach to things like ADHD just doesn't work.
I mean, this new research is basically proving what so many parents and teachers have known in their gut for years, right? There isn't just one single type of ADHD. There are these different profiles, each with its own set of strengths and its own set of challenges. And what does that mean? It means our strategies have to be personalized. They just have to be if we want them to work. Okay, so let's get into our next section. A new toolkit for skills, building on the diagnosis. Because once we have this clearer picture, the big question becomes, what do we actually do about it? Well, it turns out there's a whole lot we can do. Seriously, there's a whole new generation of tools popping up for parents and educators. We're talking about things like a mobile neurofeedback app that actually helps strengthen the brain's reading networks, or AI-powered ebooks that can adapt to a child's specific reading level in real time. Even VR training to help with motor skills and coordination. And that's not even mentioning the new non-stimulant medication options that are in the works. The toolkit is getting bigger and better every day.
You know, there's a great quote from Laura Learns that says, "The technology is finally aligning with what good teachers have always known. Personalization works." And that really hits the nail on the head. This isn't about replacing great teachers. No way. It's about amplifying what they do. It's about giving them the tools to deliver that one-on-one personalized support that every kid deserves, but on a scale we just couldn't imagine before.
All right, section 3, from fix to flex, the mindset shift. And honestly, this might be the most important part of the whole conversation, because maybe the biggest change isn't in the tech or the tests, it's the one happening in our heads and in our hearts. I mean, just look at the story of the amazing space scientist Dame Maggie Adarin Pocock. She's talked openly about how much she struggled with reading as a kid. Her story is just such a powerful reminder that different learning paths can lead to absolutely extraordinary success. It really pushes us to focus on building up a child's strengths, not just trying to fix their challenges. And this idea of building a supportive community is getting some serious backing. We're talking $5 million. That's the size of the new Bezos Award, and it's being invested directly into peer mentorship programs. I mean, that's a huge statement, right? It's a massive acknowledgement that connection, community, and just feeling like you belong are absolutely essential for success. It all comes down to this simple, powerful idea. Stop trying to fix children, start building on what they do well.
That's the core message from a new course at UConn, and it's a message that's really starting to gain some serious momentum. We're finally starting to treat learning differences not as deficits, but as the assets they can be.
Okay, but let's get real for a second. All of these amazing advances in science and tech, they don't mean a thing if they don't actually reach our schools. And that brings us to our next section, the policy battlefield navigating the real world. This is where the rubber meets the road.
And man, this week was a total mixed bag on the policy front. You've got some serious headwinds, challenges, like a proposed $12 billion federal cut or big budget shortfalls in places like Oregon and Ohio. But then you've also got some incredible tailwinds, real progress. Massachusetts is ditching high-stakes graduation tests, Georgia is going phone-free in schools, Ohio is auditing outdated reading instruction. It really shows you where we need to push and where things are already starting to move in the right direction.
So let's take that proposed federal budget as an example, because it's a perfect illustration. When you first look at it, the headline is a massive cut to K-12 funding. But when you dig into the details, you see that it's actually proposing an increase for special education, paid for by consolidating other grants. It's just a classic reminder that with policy, you always have to look past the headline, because the details are where the story really is.
Okay, let's bring this all together. Your week in education, the takeaway. After all of that, what's the bottom line? What does this actually mean for you, as a parent or an educator, when you walk into that school on Monday morning?
Well, what's so cool about this week's news is that it really lays out a clear path to empowerment. Step 1, we can see the picture clearly now with these new diagnostic tools. Step 2, we can use a whole new toolkit to build skills proactively. Step 3, we can adopt the mindset that different isn't broken. And step 4, we know how to navigate the system and advocate for real change. It's a roadmap from feeling stuck to feeling like you can really make a difference.
So, here's the final thought. The science has changed. The tools are here. This isn't just a collection of news stories. This is real, tangible momentum. You have new language, new evidence, and new science to take into your next parent-teacher conference or school board meeting. The conversation is shifting away from deficits and toward possibilities. So the only real question left is, how are you going to change the conversation in your school?
Get a free AI analysis of your child's learning struggle. Link in the description.